Hi everybody and welcome back. Here's our third video in our Elemental Blade, actually our final video of that set, showing off the Shock Blade. We first did the Fire Blade, we last time did the Frost Blade, based off of our Frostagon, and now we've got the Shock Blade. Now this is based off of our Shockagon build that we did with a Sorcerer, alright? And that really opened my eyes of what I could do and a heavy attack dad build that's good for PvP, and that started the ball rolling with it. So now we've got a version of that with the Magblade, which I gotta say, I like it better than the Sorc. The Sorc is all about the lightning and the lightning staff, which we're going to be using, all that stuff, but I kind of like the skills that I get with doing the Magblade version of this. So let's get into it. Let's go over here. Let's switch it out. Alright, install my Frost Blade. So, let's go over to Shock Blade, equip, boom. Alright, let's see what I've got. Oh, I thought it was going to attack me. Let's see what we've got over here. Okay, so, now, I did have a version, of course, I'd had Shockagon for a little while now in here, but I was waiting to update for the Shock Blade because there's some new sets in here. Now, I wasn't sure about doing this because I was all set with Shockagon, but then I'm like, let's see what we can do. So what I've done is that I actually have Plague Break. All right, Jack, that's the one that when dealing direct damage to an enemy who is not a plague carrier, turns them into a plague carrier for 10 seconds, dealing disease damage over the duration of the plague. If the plague is removed early, it explodes, infecting the enemies with 8 meters of the carrier and dealing disease damage. The explosion deals an additional 50% damage per enemy hit. The effect can occur once per attack and scales off the higher of your web damage stuff. Really fun stuff. I heard people talking about that, mixing this Plague Break with Dark Convergence. All right? And Dark Converge, we know, is the, oh my god, it's the one that usually gets us in PvP, right? If you're not paying attention, you get that swirly purple in the rocks around you, brings you into the center, stuns you, does damage to you, and then you can't get out, and they throw down their ulti, and you're dead. I'm like, I need that. A dad build needs that. Something where I can do just a basic attack, and a couple abilities, and boom, that's going to be on them. Oh, I need that. All right. So yeah. So that's what we're doing. So, and then the third part, again, part of this series where I just want a basic I want to have a 2 monster, the monster set with the 2 items, a 5 item and a 5 item. I don't want to go crazy with all different kind of things and stuff, and a 3 thing set here, 2 set there. No, too complicated for a dad build. All right. So what I have is the brand new Kargata monster set. All right. It comes out of the Coral Ari dungeon, and what this is on dealing damage with a heavy attack. So we're going to be heavy attacking. All right. Create a 6-meter whirlwind that slowly moves forward 8 seconds, growing by 3 meters every 3 seconds. Enemies within the whirlwind take shock damage and physical damage every second. The allies within this whirlwind reduce their magic and stamina costs by 10%. This effect can occur once every 20 seconds, and the damage scales off the higher of your weapon or spell damage. Great thing about this, it might not be the best set, but I'm calling it the Shock and Awe set. You fire this off, oh my gosh, it scares people. It's got such a big sonic boom to it. Here, let me show. Let me show you. Let me show you. All right. There we go. Boom. Look at that. People are looking at, what is this circle? What is this thing? It's got this big shock. I'll wait a little bit for it to reset. You'll see, it almost goes like a sonic wave in a dome when it comes out. Boom. and it's slowly going towards people, and it's getting bigger. And the person that gets you is like, what? What? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Incredible. I love it. It's like one of my new favorite things. So I'm like, yeah. And then, of course, your friends that are standing in it, they're getting resources back. All right? I notice especially when you get a lot of group of people are fighting against like a really tanky build that you can't take down and stuff. This works really well to keep everybody's stuff up. And, the AOA getting, more and more in there starts to catch the enemy within it. So, all right. So, that's the new one in there. Now, I had to kind of finagle some things in here. You could maybe set it up a little bit differently, but this is what I did in here. All right? The Plague Break is a medium set, which doesn't go very well with our light. But we like having 2 medium sets. All right? That helps us out with our medium armor bonuses. All right? So I put the jack and the pants there, and then I put the rest of it as jewelry. So that means that I have Dark Convergence, and then I have Dark Convergence for the shoes, the gloves, and the belt. So that's how. So I had to do a little switch around to make it work. And I put it as the jack and the pants because it gets a little bit more armor that way. Now, I could have done light helm and light shoulders. But again, I was thinking this is PvP. Be nice to have a little bit of extra armor. So what I did is that I actually went light, but I tried out having also a heavy because the heavy kind of fell in the dungeon, so I didn't have to like retrade it and spend the transmute crystals. So a little bit of laziness on my part. So you don't have to do that with the heavy. All right, you can go light and light. But I did the heavy. I'm like, you know what? That might not be so bad because you got the armor bonus. Plus, it helps me out more with the Undaunted, bonuses in here with Undaunted Metal, for having the heavy, medium, and light sets. So it gives me a 6% bonus to all those things. So I get a little bit more, with that. So I thought, hey, let's give it a try. And it's been working out great. All right, food that I use with it, same old food, Solitude food. I am 64 in here, see a little bit more magicka, a little bit more health than I had on my other ones. Spell damage still pretty good, 34, 64. A little lower in the spell crit. That was kind of one of the big things with these sets that's done that. But I'm still using the Thief to try to help that out a little bit. And yeah. The skills that I'm using on here, I needed something to proc the Dark Convergence. Because if you remember, Dark Convergence, all right, you have to, it's got to be an ability that leaves an effect on the ground. And I was struggling, really struggling, to find a skill that would do that for my front bar for a Magblade. Magblade just doesn't have it. I looked through all our skills and we just don't have one. We do. The only one that we have is the Twisted Path on there, but I wasn't going to use Twisted Path. I was going to use Unstable Wall because remember, I'm dealing with a front bar, back bar situation that the back bar is going to be healing. It's going to be a resto staff, So I had to figure that out. So finally came across using Scalding Rune. Scalding Rune, you put that on the ground, it triggers Dark Convergence. What I love... Oh, and I wanted it to be range. That was kind of the big thing about it. I wanted it to be range because I did have the Unstable Wall that would trigger it. But like if guys are over here, or out of my reach or something like that, running away, that's not going to do me any good. So that's why I went with the Scalding Rune, because I could toss it out at range. All right, so I've got a range one, and then I've got a close-up one in there. So the Scalding Rune then turned out to be more of a blessing because when it triggers the rune, all right, the enemies in the target area get flame damage, and then additional flame damage over 14 seconds. So it triggers the Dark Convergence, and then it does its own damage. So I put this, put this on here. It triggers it, so now it's doing double damage to what it was doing and just kind of hanging out. Yeah, I love it. All right, and then it does like it's been triggered, and then it does some damage at the end. I forget. No, it just does that one thing. What's the thing that I was saying where it shows like there's two things on it? Whoops. It is the... Dun, 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 dun. Oh, the 2 seconds to arm thing. That's what it was. So, yeah. So I can do it, trigger it that way or that way. Boom. Yeah. And like these don't get, pulled into the center. But when they get pulled into the center, someone triggers it and they all get the rune and they all get the Dark Convergence, which is very, very cool. So, then I have my range. I love this. I love having a range attack with a range heal on it, so my structured entropy is back. Then this is quite cool. The impale, we have an execute. We have a very strong execute. All right, for those times that they get down below 25%, and as a Magblade, you start salivating. All right, and then look at this. We have our camo hunter here, which is going to expose anybody who is who's being stealthy. And then again, Thunderous Rage, when your Thunderous Rage is up, all right, that also can do stuff. So my go-to is I'll put the rune down. If I'm close enough, I'll put down my unstable wall, and then I'll throw down the ulti, and things just melt. So I'll throw that down. Boom, I'll throw this down, and then I throw that down, and things just, see you later. All right? Lots of confusion going on trying to get out of that. So, yeah, so we did that, and gosh, so I went to test it out, because I wasn't sure if this was going to work right. So I go into PvP, and I go test it out. And I'm going through a gate, okay? So I'm like I go through like a gate. And they're attacking the second one. They got all the siege up there. And so I'm going to set up my siege. So I go to set up my siege, and boom, somebody tries to attack me. They don't take me out, all right away. So what I do, I flip to my back bar. Okay, so remember, now my back bar is a resto Dark Convergence, okay? And so I'm doing, so right away what I do is I would heal myself up, boom. Okay, I do a, I've got my shield. Then I have, look at what we've got here. We've got this really cool Phantasmal Escape. Surround yourself in aura to gain major evasion, damage-free area from area attacks by 20% for 26 seconds. And this ability removes all snares and immobilization from you, grants immunity. This is like perfect if someone tries to Dark Convergence me. All right, really, really cool. So rapid regeneration to get the heals, a mass hysteria to scare everybody there, and then a shadowy disguise, and then a really big heal here at the end. So again, I'm able to do that, heal myself, show that, and then I'm like a ghost. I'm out of there. All right. Okay. So that's what I did. So like I was coming through. I was coming through the gate. I go through the gate. All right. Guy tries to hit me. Boom. Doesn't completely get me. Why? Because I have put in pen on my head, on my two medium pieces. All right. And then I've got some well fitted for a little bit of roll dodging within that. So I'm a little tanky. I'm a little buff in there. My crit resistance is not too bad in there. So I'm like, all right, here we go. And so he gets me and it knocks me down, but doesn't kill me. So I'm like, all right, put on all my stuff, do all my things, and I turn around and I find him. He's battling, all right, and he's like, got a bunch of us that he's going after. So I throw down that room. It triggers him in. I put down that thing. I had my ulti, threw down the ulti, and he's trying to get out. He's trying to get out, and he's running like over this way. So I'm him. So he's running kind of like that to the left, all right? And I see him going, and I'm just looking at his health bar. And again, like I say, us Nightblades, when it's under 25%, we begin to salivate. And I'm like, oh, I've got an execute. So I just start going after it, and I'm just like, execute. Light attack, execute. Light attack, execute. Light attack, execute. Boom, 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 boom. Took him out. That was the first time that I was doing PvP with his character. I'm like, ooh, I like this. It was really, really good. So I really enjoyed it. And then I had a few, 1v2s, 1v1s where I didn't die right away. That was kind of nice. I think that's the thing that we all kind of like when we're more PvEer than PvPer. It's just to have enough of something that we survive for a little while. Maybe hopefully help arrives in there so we're just not one-shotted all the time. So this definitely fit that bill. So again, our Cargata, our Plague Break, and our Dark Convergence in there. So yeah. And actually, just kind of now to think of it, because I'm not using, Plague Breaker, on the back, you actually could have a different kind of staff on the back. I'm just thinking about that now. So that might be something I switch in the future. But if you've got something else that you like to run, I'm trying to think off of hand what might be something in there. Maybe a Vatashran or something else that might be good. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking off the cuff. So it might not have to be that one. You could as well. So yeah. So a work in progress. And then I did change it up a little bit with the ones in here. We actually have resilience, which grants some crit resistance. Ironclad reduces the damage taken by your direct damage attacks. So 10% reduction, very nice. I'm using Thaumaturge, and I'm using Biting Aura. Those are my three. And then I'm using Balanced Vitality, Fortified, Slippery, which is a new one for me that I really like. When you're affected by a disabling effect, you automatically break free for no cost. That is like really cool. Like when you get kind of stunned or something, and you just see your guy break out of it. When you're all kind of confused, and boom. After using this effect, you become a winded and cannot trigger this effect or others like it for 21 seconds. And then Bastion. Increases your effectiveness of your damage shields and damage against shielded enemies by 3%, so 15%. Let me show you where those are. So you've got the far one, that one over there by the little thing, and then Bastion in the middle. Yeah. So, a lot of fun. I've been really enjoying it. It's been a very fun PvP experience with that for me. And I tell you, throw this on your Magblade. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with it. So this is the third one, the last in our Blade series, the Elemental Blade. Dun, 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 where we have, as a review, we have the wonderful Fireblade. All right? Fireblade, all about that single target with the Kinraz, the Kjalnar, and the Bosses. All right, doing as much damage against a single target as you can. All right. You then have the Frostblade. The Frostblade is all about the Dad Bill Overland sets, Winter Respite. You buy or find. Your Frostbite you can buy or find. And you have Nanatak, which you can do a little bit of PvP in and everything. Be able to buy the shoulders, and then be able to with the key fragments as well. Be able to buy that with that, or go after the Monster Memorial District Nanatak and get the drop. So go with the group in there. So the Frostblade in there. So for some soloing stuff and a little bit more survivability in there, and doing a lot of AoE stuff and some control through frost. And then the Shockblade that we did, which is our PvP, utilizing the Dark Convergence, the Plague Break, and the new Cargata, which is a whole lot of fun. So and having that healing back bar to keep yourself alive, and it's got some good survivability. So there we go. The Elemental Blade, the Fire Blade, the Frost Blade, and the Shock Blade. I hope you enjoyed this series. Let me know if you're trying it. See what you think of it. Like I said, pretty easy to acquire. Most of these, except for like the Fire Blade, which is my main in there. But the other two are really easy to acquire. And I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. And let me know how you do, or if you've got any questions about it. So, all right. So this is going to be the last of this set. I will be coming out with updates to the Frostagon build and the Shakagon build, which is going to be like this one, but it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to have some of the new stuff on there as well from the new dungeons. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much. I'll talk to you later. Bye.